Hi, agents. This time on Prime Tips, we're looking at AP generators. It's February in 2020, and the Didact Challenge is out, and it wants people to create lots of fields, 100 fields to get the first badge, 300 and 800 for the other tiers. And one of the best ways to do that is an AP generator. Now, an AP generator is just what it sounds like. It's really there to generate AP. But in the process, you generate lots of fields. So the process here isn't so much on making mine units, big fields. It's making as many fields as you possibly can. So what you want to do is first search out an area that you can come up with a lot of portals that will allow you to do this. If you're one agent, you probably need about 25 portals. And really, you want to look for a setup, something like what you're seeing on the screen here, where you have one portal at a right angle to other portals. So here I have a collection of portals that are in a park, thanks to a pogo player who put them pretty thick in there. And I have a few that are north of here. Now, you can do this with one agent. You can do it more efficiently with two agents. I'm going to show you the one agent way of doing this. And you can generate right at about 24 fields by yourself. If you had that other agent, you can get to 40. So what you need, of course, is a place where you have these portals, and it's good if it's a place that you're not going to be interrupted by an opposing faction or even your own, so that you can do all of this within a certain time period. You will also need a couple of mods. You will need probably at least 2 SoftBank Ultralinks, SUBLs, or SBULs, and maybe some viruses if you want to rethrow it. So let's look at the basics for it. In this particular one, I kind of have a split AP generator. A lot of times you'll see a single one with all of your fields in one area and your anchor in one area. But since I'm in a smaller town, I don't have 25 or 20 or so portals that are all in an area. I've got 17 in this little area. So I went over here and I got some that are north of where I'm at. And you notice that I'm using the stock Intel tool for this because it works much better for that. So this is kind of the idea that you have. You have one portal, that would be this one, that you're going to anchor from. And you notice when I look at the mods, I've got 2 SoftBank Ultralinks on that. Why that is because every time I throw an SUBL on there, that SBUL gives me 8 more outgoing links. So I start with 8, 2 more gives me 16, for a total of 24 outgoing links. And again, if you have another one with you, another agent with you, you can throw 2 more SBULs on there and get that all the way up to 40. So once you've got that portal, that's your anchor portal. Then you want to look at all the other portals that are at a right angle from it, and you want to light those portals up and get a couple of keys. You're going to need one key to connect that portal to the other portals that are in that line, and of course, one key to throw from your anchor portal. Now, that line that closes them is a kind of hard to figure out in some cases. It takes a lot of planning to do that. For instance, in this particular case, if I were to throw a link from this portal to that portal, you'll notice that I'd be blocking out these 5 other portals. So you really need to think about what is that line and how can I get that line to connect all those portals and back to that main one. So it's going to be kind of an odd looking thing. You may layer it, sort of like what I have here. It may not layer. So the hard part is figuring all of that out. So let me show you how you do that. So here I have that park with 17 portals. Here's my anchor portal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in a little close, and I'm going to start with this one portal on the outside, and I'm going to draw to my anchor portal. And then I'll go from my anchor portal. And I'll move it a little bit here so I can see it. And I'll just go to the next one. And I think that's what you want to do first. You want to draw all these in before you get too far. So I'm going to go ahead and draw all these in. I'll probably cut the video for time just to make sure that that works. And I'm not worried about closing off these just yet. I'm just worried about getting my links from all these out in the field back to that main portal. and you'll end up with some pretty slender links. And that's fine, but you do have to remember that in some cases, what may work out on the map may not work out in the field. So be ready to do a couple of changes in the field if you have to. So I'll continue to draw these in. And once I've got all these in, then the real work will be figuring out how to connect all of those across what I would call the cap or the end of that. And that's what you'll want to throw first. Again, the idea is not making big fields. It doesn't matter if these are 1 MU fields. It's every time that you make a field, you're getting some AP for it. So I've got all of my outgoing links. And again, I get that because of the S-bowl. Now, I want to know what all these are and what's the best way to throw them. So in this particular case, I'm going to start from the north. I'm going to work down to the south. And I probably want to keep a list of what those are so I know the order. Now, you notice that I have one of them that's kind of in close down here. So I got to make sure that I don't forget him. So I'm going to move in just a little bit closer. And so I want to go from, in this case, the Memorial Gardens to this. And then the next one would be from the dairy bar up to here. And then the next one would be from that particular portal to this one. And then from Pavilion 1 all the way down here. And then from the Blue Star to this one. And you notice that these are really, really slender. That's okay. Again, the idea isn't so much that I'm making a lot of MU. It's that I'm making a lot of fields. So these are going to be really tight in my case. If you could spread them out, that might be better. But now here's one. Notice that one's really, really tight. So I want to make sure that I get that one in. That one's so tight that I don't know. It may not work in the field. But you want to plan for it. And so all I have to do is just as I'm going down, each time I see a link, I'm going to close to the next link down. But I got to keep my eye open to make sure that I'm not skipping anything. So I'm coming along pretty good here. Couple more to go. And there's my last one. So you notice that it's a pretty messy looking thing on this end, and it's very tight on this end. So that's the theory of what it would do. And again, how I would throw it, I would go out in the field and I would go down through all of these, collecting at least two keys to start with. And then I would then go back through and connect that spine that I just drew in. And then I would come back to the anchor. And on this anchor then, again, making sure that I have the two S-bowls on it, I would start to throw the connections out here. And you really, honestly, you don't have to have any particular order, but to keep things straight, it's probably best to start in one direction and move to the other. Start in the north and move down through. And every time that you throw one of those, you're going to generate more points. So you're going to generate, I think it's somewhere close to 1,200 AP each time that you do it. Again, that differs a little bit. You'll get more points for the first time that you deploy all of these. And then every time that you make the field, you're going to get 1,200 points there, 313 for each link. So it kind of differs. Then, once you have it all done, you have some choices what you want to do. Depends upon what kind of mods you have handy. If you have lots of SoftBank Ultralinks, you could flip it one time, attack it, and rebuild it with two more SoftBank Ultralinks. So the cost there for you is one virus and two S-bowls to get it ready to rethrow it. Or you could flip it twice. Flip it once to the opposing colors, wait an hour for the inoculation to wear off, flip it again back to your color, and then you can throw it. So in that hour's time, you could be back out in the field getting more links down here or more keys so that you can rethrow it. Then rethrow it as many times as you need. Again, if it's the Didact Challenge, you're looking for that 100 fields to get in at the lowest level. This is going to get you 24 to start with. You might end up with a few here and there, like this one and this one, that are on the inside. So I'm thinking that if you throw it about 4 times, you should be able to hit the 100. That's it, agents. Hope this helped. See you in the field.